I'll explain why holding on to certain relationships can be more damaging than solitude, and why reclaiming your dignity might be the most important act of self-love you can practice now. The trap of unconditional love. We've been taught that family love should be unconditional, that we should give without expecting anything in return. But here's the harsh truth. Unconditional love becomes a dangerous trap when it transforms into an unpayable debt. How many of us have endured neglect, indifference, or even disdain, clinging to the idea that they're my children and I would do anything for them? Years pass as we justify every slight, minimize every disregard, holding on to a love that is no longer reciprocated with the same devotion. We water a garden that no longer bears fruit, and worse, whose roots have cracked the very foundation of our self-worth. The next time you feel the urge to make excuses for someone's neglectful behavior, pause and ask yourself, would I advise a dear friend to accept this treatment? If the answer is no, you've identified a boundary that needs setting. When blood doesn't guarantee respect. We were raised to believe that family ties come with unbreakable loyalty, that giving life ensures love and appreciation in return. But reality tells a different story. There are children who drift away without explanation, who forget important dates, who treat their parents like an inconvenient obligation. Perhaps you felt that lump in your throat when a call with your child barely lasts 5 minutes. Maybe you've bent over backward to avoid being a burden, to fit into their schedule, only to realize your presence feels more like an interruption than a welcomed moment. Start keeping a simple journal of your interactions. Note how you feel before, during, and after spending time with certain people. Patterns of emotional depletion are powerful indicators of relationships that may need reevaluation. Remember, respect is not inherited. It is earned. And if you're not receiving it, it's not because you are unworthy, but because some people never learned how to give it. The Bible says, "No prophet is accepted in his hometown," and this holds true in many families. Those who value a stranger's opinion more than their parents, who treat everyone with courtesy except those who gave them life. Loneliness isn't the enemy. Bad company is. We've been taught to fear solitude as if it were a punishment, as if being without the validation of others means being lost. But what they don't tell us is that the real danger isn't being alone. It's surrounding yourself with people who diminish you, who ignore you, who make you feel like you don't matter. Think about it. Is a house full of noise, but devoid of real conversation, really better than peaceful solitude? Is a table surrounded by people who barely acknowledge your presence better than dining alone with dignity? Experiment with solitude deliberately. Choose one activity you normally do with others and experience it alone instead. Perhaps a movie, a walk in nature, or visiting a museum. Notice the quality of your experience without the filter of others' opinions. Seneca once said, "A wise man is self-sufficient, yet he enjoys the company of others when it is genuine." The key isn't desperately seeking people who will love you, but building a life where companionship is a bonus, not a necessity. The hidden cost of always being available. We've been taught that being present for our children and family is the ultimate sign of love, that we should always be the first to call, to help, to be there whenever needed, even when that effort is never reciprocated. But here's what few people tell you. Every time you offer yourself without being asked, every time you insist on being part of someone's life when they don't make the same effort to include you, you lose a little bit of your dignity. And the worst part, you don't even realize it's happening. There are parents who spend their final decades waiting for invitations that never come, doing favors that go unappreciated, adjusting their lives to fit the schedules of others, believing this keeps them important. Practice saying, "Let me check my schedule and get back to you," instead of immediately saying yes to requests. Give yourself permission to consider your own needs before committing to others' plans. When you get used to always being available, others get used to not valuing you. You become the safe option, the backup plan, the person who always says yes no matter how many times they've been told no. Your presence loses its value. It's like a chair that's always in the same place. No one notices it until it's gone. Don't mistake patience for resignation. There is a fine line between waiting with wisdom and waiting out of fear. Patience is understanding that some things take time, but resignation is accepting the unacceptable, allowing yourself to be ignored, belittled, left in the background of someone's life. The longer you allow it, the harder it becomes to reclaim your place. First comes sadness, the feeling that something isn't right, but you decide to endure it. Then comes exhaustion, the weight of always giving more than you receive. And finally, without realizing it, you fall into habit. You learn to wait in silence, to never demand, to lower your head when pushed aside. Choose one relationship where you feel resigned rather than respected. Write down 3 small ways you could assert your worth in this relationship. Implement one this week. Many confuse love with submission. They believe loving means staying silent, accepting any treatment just to avoid being alone. But self-respect is the foundation of all relationships. If you don't love yourself enough to demand respect, no one else will do it for you. The key to being valued, even if it hurts. Here's a truth few dare to say: if you want to be missed, disappear. Sometimes the only way to know if you truly matter to someone is to stop being constantly available. Stop being the first to call, the first to show up, the one who always adapts to others' schedules and expectations. As long as you're always there without anyone asking, you will remain invisible. Imagine that today you decide not to call, not to visit, not to insist. A week passes, a month. Who reaches out? Who notices your absence? Who wonders if you're okay? The answer might hurt because you may realize that some people only kept you in their lives because you were easy to find, because it cost them nothing to have you there. But as painful as that truth may be, it is also freeing because it shows you without doubt who truly values you and who is only using you as an emotional convenience. Build your own refuge. Don't wait for someone to open the door. If you keep waiting for others to change, to realize, to wake up, you will be giving away the only thing that truly belongs to you, your life. Think about this. If today you decided to stop calling, stop insisting, stop adjusting your time to fit someone else's schedule, what would you do with those hours? Some people, when they let go of what hurts them, discover hidden passions, new friendships, paths they never imagined. Others, out of fear, cling to an empty chair, a phone that never rings, a love that has gone cold. Make a list of 3 activities you've always wanted to try but never made time for. Schedule one into your calendar this month. Create something to look forward to that doesn't depend on others' participation. The difference isn't luck or fate, it's the decision to act instead of mourn. Many confuse letting go of what hurts with giving up on life. They believe that if they stop clinging to broken bonds, they will have nothing left. But the truth is, only when you release what no longer nourishes you can you make room for what truly matters. Time to reclaim your worth. Most people will listen to this message, nod in agreement, and then go back to the way things were. They'll keep making excuses, keep waiting, keep staying silent, because change is scary, because it's easier to stay in the routine. Taking control of your life means accepting that everything you've allowed up until now has been a choice, and not everyone is ready for that responsibility. But if you've made it this far, it's not by chance. This message isn't easy to hear because it forces you to face a truth that many prefer to ignore. It places a mirror in front of you, one that few dare to look into. Look in the mirror today and say these words: "My time matters. My presence is valuable. I deserve relationships that reflect this truth." Then make one decision, large or small, that honors this commitment to yourself. Remember, you are not here to fill empty spaces in other people's lives, but to take up space in your own. You don't need to be missed, you need to be respected. And the only way to be valued is to start valuing yourself first. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Type "My time matters" in the comments below, along with where you're watching from. Let's build a community that celebrates the dignity and wisdom that comes with age, not as a burden to be tolerated, but as a gift to be treasured. Because your final chapters aren't about fading away, They're about shining more brightly than ever before.